Master B, how are ya?
What's up, man? How you doing?
You just made me choke that out. I'm here. I'm just waiting for you, and you're like, no, no.
No, no, go ahead. Go ahead.
The fog machine's off. We're good now. There we
Fog
go.
machine. Yeah, dry ice.
Good old dry ice, man. Dry ice is kind of like quicksand. I feel like it's one of those weird things that you hear about it a lot, but you don't see it.
Dry ice?
Yeah.
Dry ice came up the other day in a conversation. We were talking about shipping refrigerated goods, fish specifically, and how you do that. And there is actually a limit on the amount of dry ice that you can have because it creates some sort of safety risk, I would assume, I guess, on the
I
airplane.
I could see that. You
Yeah.
know, weird as this is, I'm gonna go way off topic for like the quickest second here, but GMOs. Just because you mentioned transporting fish, all that fun jazz, right? So something that drives me absolutely insane is there's certain individuals that they're very much like, I don't touch GMOs, right? And you're sitting there being like, you do. I promise you on your day-to-day life, you probably do. And they're thinking of like fish cells being implanted into like tomato genomes so that when we actually end up growing tomatoes, we can actually freeze them, transport them, and they'll move better, right? And you're kind of like, yeah, those are GMOs for sure. That's directly influencing these products, but so is cutting off the stick of this tree and cutting a hole here and fucking grafting it to that as well. You've just genetically modified that. And when you think of like grapes and corn and all these things, you're like, dude, if we didn't pick the best one and then quote unquote clone those genetics and then modify that whole species to have a whole crop of the one that grew really well and tasted good, we've kind of genetically modified
Yeah.
it. Anyways, toys. Something has your attention this evening, and it's not that beautiful
Uh,
table of toys right beside you there.
yeah,
You gotta
no,
go
all
take
good.
care of something real quick while I say hi to the homies
No,
over in the chat there,
no,
man. Oh, oh.
no, no, no.
Ri-
Somebody was walking through the door and I forgot said person had left actually. Welcome back. Um
Okay.
yeah, man. Gray Skull Toys. What's up? Slightly Adrift Toys. What's up, man? Jazz Wizard. Been chatting with him about some records.
Oh,
Thank you
nice.
kindly, good sir. Sir, he is the record wizard as well. Toys and Tits, what's up? Bliss Receptor, my man, what's going on? Suki, what's up? Asinine, what's going on, man? Yes, dude, what have you been up to? What's going on?
You know how it goes, dude.
Yeah,
Health, work, never ends.
yeah,
You know how the fun is.
same
You
old,
know.
same old.
This,
Yeah.
the dirty old cycle. Exactly, my friend. At the end of the day, I'm kind of stoked. I don't know about you. I was kind of making sure to kind of catch up on some of the Decay Toys work they've had. I know they paint a lot of Safubi. I'm kind of stoked. I was seeing they have a bunch of resin stuff from the beginning stages as well. They've got
Mm-hmm.
that brand new Battle Squid, so it's gonna be stoked to talk about them, man. I'm just mainly stoked about that. What you been up to?
Oh man, where I think we're getting through the heat over here. It's been deathly hot, but besides that, man, same old, yeah, Decay Toys, dude. Dope. I do have some painted pieces behind me that they've done, and yeah, the new vinyl release. There's a con coming up this weekend. Busy, busy, busy for him for sure. Yuckamuck, what's going on, dog?
Yeah.
Ashley K, what's going on? Yuckamuck says genetic power is the most awesome force the planet's ever seen,
Well,
but we wield it like a kid that's found his dad's gun. Well said
well, yeah.
from Yuckamuck. Blue
Eh,
Kappa Toys, what's going on?
there's this book called Consumed, and it honestly says something that we should, like, most of us should know in marketing, but it blindly kind of happens to us. But basically, any marketing wants to basically have it so that adults are infantilized, children are adultized. So you basically want like kids feeling like they should have the same purchasing power and respect buying that adults do, and then you've got adults who want to be able to like hold on to that youth and everything and feel like kids again. There are certain products on the market at the moment that companies and in the genetics field basically have decided to like hone in on one metric, for instance. And what's funny is now you're seeing people who don't necessarily understand that product wondering why it's changed so much in the last couple of years, and it's hard to explain to them. Well, this metric before was probably like 15, and now it's around 30. And
Mm,
then one of my favorites ever is like just again like that like naivety, I guess. Maybe nowadays that people have like a quick access to things. Sometimes there's that naivety, um, where they'll be like nothing too high, and you're like, well, what's high for you? I don't know, like 75, 80%, and you're like, this kind of maxes out around 30. So lucky for you, your fictitious weird standard isn't a concern. We're good. We'll keep well
yeah,
below that.
yeah,
This is
uh,
nothing toy related.
yeah.
Sorry.
No.
So sorry. Not that that's out of the usual.
Oh, Yucca
Ah,
Mike. That was a
dang
quote
it.
from Jurassic Park, by the way. There you go. I
Yeah,
didn't pick
B
up on that.
read it like it was such like but a kid that's found his dad's
Hey,
ghetto.
man, that sounds like something Yucca Muck would say. Yucca Muck would say that, and I'd be like, yeah, man, shit, you're right on, dude. Jimmy Folklore, what's going on, dog?
Yeah, and
Uh,
with all the things happening these days, technology wise, man, you know what probably is one of the weirdest, and I know none of us really know how to feel about it yet. I saw Black Major kind of took a big old stance, very anti AI. I saw somebody posting today, and I couldn't help myself. I kind of dove down that rabbit hole because you're seeing that they're pumping out toys. You're seeing the comments, people being like AI slop, and they're kind of like suck my dick about it, and you're kind of like, damn, yeah, where is this line? Because now as a consumer, I'm looking at your page, and you have half and half. You have half that you're willingly like acknowledging is just completely AI generated art, backers, etc. You've got other things that you've put that effort into. As a consumer, should we have to navigate that? Does it matter? You know?
you know what, dude? I think it's probably like anything else. It's all preference. You know what I mean? And it's kind of like what you said earlier. Well, what's your definition of high to you? You know what I mean? Well, what's your definition of acceptable? Is it okay to use here?
Yeah.
Is it not okay to use there? I mean, dude, that in that argument on AI could go on forever. You know
Well,
what
we
I mean?
talked
And
about when we started, it wasn't even AI yet. It was digital sculpting tools. So
correct.
before we even had AI, we had people kind of being like, "Oh, well, if you're using these AI programs or you're using these drawing programs, it's not the same as using the." And there's so many different people approaching this from different angles too. Like it was maybe what was it 3 weeks ago when we sat down with Wonder Goblin and remind me who else we had in that evening. But one by clay, one by digital. One
Barely
is
human.
like barely humans. Like I want to get my pieces in hand. I want to start painting them. I want to get them out to market. I want to share my art. You've got um, Wonder Goblin who's sitting there kind of being like, "This is my moment to escape all the hurry. I want to spend that time sculpting. That's a blessing to be able to spend that time sculpting, right? So
Yeah.
it's everybody's got what they're looking for from this. I mean, I'm sure it'll even come up tonight. I'm very curious to know. This is something that I have such a hard time with, and I'm sure you get this. When you're a collector, we sometimes see a figure, right? And it's like, ooh, I want that in the glow, and I want that in the pink, and I want that in the clear. Those dudes who paint them, I don't know how they part with them. I get that there's like you must approach it differently. There must be like there must be a different mindset maybe into the buying of them, or because like resin casters will often be like, well, I can cast another one. I can sell this one or gift this one if I really want one. I can pour myself one.
Mm.
People with Safubi will often kind of be in that same way. We talk to a lot of these dudes where, they'll hold on to one for themselves for years, and then somebody reaches out being like, any chance, and they're like, yeah, here's mine.
Hmm.
So it's like it's not often somebody parts with the pieces. So to pour that kind of hours into like painting one and doing a run of 3 or 4 of them, that's a totally different mindset that I. And then of course they have theirs that they've made. I don't want to blur that line either. I don't want to make it seem like they only paint other work. They obviously have.
Yeah. Well, and I think, from a collector standpoint, man, I think that's one of the things that we talk about is sometimes like the exclusivity of it. Maybe it's not just the figure itself that may be in a small run, but maybe it's a small run or maybe a one of one, which it typically is, right? When it's custom painted. And that's something that I like, that angle of having something that nobody else does, as far as it's painted some way. But you're right, man. I think as an artist, it would probably be hard to get rid of some of that stuff. to where you come up with one, you're just like, oh man, that one looks too good, dude. I think I'm gonna have to save that one. I would do that every single time. And going back to what you were saying with Wonder Goblin, dude, I think that's one of the really interesting things about this kind of community as a whole, right? Is that you have people that are doing it at different levels, from someone who's doing it full time and that's all they do all day, to other people that are doing it on the weekends, or maybe an hour here, hour there, to wherever they can fit it into their already busy schedule. So when you take those two things, the approach is different, the time spent is different, the equipment's probably different. You know what I mean? There's going to be a whole bunch of differences. Maybe not the equipment, but as much time as you could put into like a workspace or something like that. Um, but in the end, I mean, what's crazy? It's like if you were only looking at like shows, you only went to cons or shows or something like that, and just based it off what you saw, you would have no idea that there's so many different levels of like, I didn't know that this guy is only doing it barely part time, you know. And then I didn't know that this guy was doing it full time, or this other guy was doing it full time, but he's also got another full time job. And it's like, and that's the part I think that where I don't want to say that we come in, but I think that's where it gets really interesting to not only to you and I, but to other people too, that, there's stories and lives behind the pieces, which is where it gets pretty interesting on, how do you manage all that and then still, pump out dope stuff, dude, with another full-time job and a family and fucking responsibilities, dude. Ugh, you know?
But I mean that is kind of also why it's almost weird, and maybe the other artists can relate to this, maybe you can relate to this, but you meet certain people, and you are kind of just like, the fuck do you do? Like you think to yourself, like between, like I feel like again, most of the dudes get this. There's so many times in your life you're actually sitting there going, I wish I had some time right now to be able to do A, B, C. So when you have that spare moment, you're picking at it. You like I've always got art shit out. I've got my keyboards right here. Like I'll go
Hmm.
for a walk in nature. I like to like the things you enjoy, you do them, and then you meet these other
Yeah.
people, and you're just kind of like, so you come home, and like no judgment, but like if you like, but damn, every day, come home, you plunk in front of the TV, you just eat a bag of chips or whatever your thing is while you scroll on your phone, and like, okay, you don't pick up a book and learn new thoughts, opinions, ideas, concepts. Okay.
Well, yeah, right. We're talking about two completely different kinds of people, of course, right? I mean, I guess there are people that do that. And as fun as that sounds sometimes, dude, there's just all these other responsibilities that you have to get done, which really narrows your time on the
Yes.
stuff that you really want to do,
1,000.
unfortunately.
But
Um,
Trash Can Monster said it the one day, and I loved it. He was like, "Bored people are boring people," and I thought that was a pretty good way of putting it, because it's like, yeah, like you're only really bored if you, for some reason, can't think of things that are titillating for your brain.
yeah.
Most of the dudes in this toy scene, that's kind of half of them. Some of them, I bet you, they're doing this full time and they never thought they would. They just fell in love with a form of art they had never found before. Very few people are sitting there in grade school being like, oh yeah, I had a section of class and a whole unit where we fucking customized figures.
Yes, exactly, dude. And that's what's crazy is like we've seen plenty of people that, you know, started doing something artistically from, long time ago, even from when they were kids or college or young adults or whatever it is. And then we've seen other people do that are doing it now in their 40s or 50s, you know what I mean,
Yeah.
that are just getting started, that maybe went from collecting into making, or maybe they're just making and want to make something, you know what I mean? That's cool too.
I just have my
Um,
access to information, dude. Because when you talk to somebody or you see somebody else doing it and they're able to kind of make it seem streamlined, simple, it just makes all the difference. Like we've all seen. There's a young boy right now doing custom accounts, and he's got Sharpies. And I noticed like all the homies in the chat just being like, "Looks good, dude, but you might want to grab this Vallejo paint if you can, or try this, or prime the figure first, scratch it first." Like everybody kind of tossing some like ideas out there. It's like, yeah, the information is readily accessible these days. This morning, Caucasian Creation sent me a fucking video being like, "Did you know that we've got a Sculpey supply right here?" I'm like, but that access to information. It's just so much more readily available these days. The fact I actually fucking love how many people use Wonder Goblin paint, man. That is amazing to me, because it's just kind of like, how many dudes did we hear for years be like, I don't know what to use on vinyl, everything is going to scratch, nothing actually wants to adhere, I'm slushing paint around. Even airbrushing became big in our time. You remember seeing the homies, suddenly, like, the amount of those dudes getting their air compressors set up and learning how to use fucking airbrushing nozzles and how to clean them properly, and all of that has just kind of come from these guys talking to each other and seeing what other people are using and asking.
Yeah, there was somebody that was talking about, I think, air guns in specifically, and they were talking about the brand, and I think how long they got through using like a cheaper brand until it finally went out. But yeah, lots of information, dude. I think that exchange of information is just so great out there. And then just going back to what you're saying about the 3D sculpting and stuff, what I think was really interesting about that, dude, is when you can really see how that benefits somebody who is still wants to do sculpting, but just because of life in general, the time that they can dedicate to that, they don't have time to go and sit down at a work table and do like hands-on sculpting. Maybe 3D sculpting on an iPad while you're sitting there with your family watching a movie is maybe that's the only time that you can do it. You know what I mean? Or little spots here and there. But
we'll always have the divide. Like, on the one hand, pocket salsa, driving truck, being able to pull out the tablet, fucking amazing. Part of what makes the Bratz really special by bootleg Sewer Mutant is knowing this guy was working out in the Arctic and would bring this tiny little kit with him and have to try and fit in times he could sculpt when he could sculpt. It's like there's always going to be like the argument for both, and I can see where I can understand when we first got into this, where like maybe some of like the clay sculptors, wax sculptors might have been looking at the digital sculptors and being kind of like, oh, because again, it's kind of like that ease of access, and I think that's where we're at with AI right now as well. There's a grouping of people that are kind of like, well, I've got these brilliant ideas, but I don't know how to draw. I don't have time to draw. Shouldn't I be able to just type it in and get that drawing that I wanted done? And there's a bunch of people that are kind of like, there's this weird divide where they're almost kind of being like, no, fuck you. You gotta put in the legwork. You gotta sweat. You gotta cry. You gotta fucking suffer. You gotta go on YouTube. And once you've now paid the dues, then you get to draw. It's kind of like, well, homies. And what's funny to me is that if you look back at certain comic books back in the day, these guys would actually import photographs into their drawing like programs, whether it be scanned or not. And then they'd sit there essentially tracing it out. I get they're still drawing it, but they were line tracing. It's to get that workflow, that speed. It's like, were they cheaters? Do they not deserve to get any of the money they made from comic books? We should do a whole AI episode one day, you know? We'll bring in some
we
people
could probably
bring in some people against it, just bring in some shit disturbers that don't have an opinion altogether, just to really stir some shit.
Well, and I think there's a lot of stuff going on there now about it. It's not only what that is in general, but then some of the side effects. I think environmentally, I've been reading a lot of stuff that's having. And I know that Erin Brockovich chick is involved now, man, and that's bad news for that industry. I'll tell you that much, man.
It's scary times that we knew were coming. Like, people already kind of knew it was coming. There's been books about it and shit, right? But it is scary times when the dudes who they already weren't humaning, right? They're sitting alone in dark rooms, fucking writing code and shit for the last 20 years. They weren't humaning with other people, and they're the people that are now kind of like, well, yeah, if the future requires us to take up all the water and charge people to exist, basically, well, it's for the benefit of humanity. It's like, of course you feel that way. When is the last time you're gonna hug, you fuck? Sorry.
Yuckamuck.
Bang.
Plus,
and
you know what
issues.
We should do? You know what we should do? We should ask an artist about some of the stuff that we've been talking about. And if we're gonna ask somebody, why not make it DECAY Toys? How about that?
I think that's a great idea, because they've been sitting there for 20 minutes now. DECAY
Toys, probably like, what is this?
DECAY, you gonna come in, my dude? All right, let's pull you in here, my friend. Bam. DECAY Toys, how are you?
What's up?
All right, so I don't know if you know, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna make you full screen for a second, and you're gonna tell all the homies at home who you are, what you do, and what to expect.
All right. Dave Kimbrough, Decay Toys. I paint a lot of Safubi. Just made my first Safubi figure. Make some resin stuff. I'm out of Lincoln, Nebraska. We got a little Nebraska scene bubbling. That's a lot of what I'm doing. So
There it is. Now, man, you did mention that you have your brand new Safubi. For those who haven't seen it, the Battle Squid.
yeah,
Why don't you give us a little introduction to that, homie, if you don't
I
mind?
got one floating around here.
Oh, hey, that even
Nice.
better. I was gonna do a little share screen, but hey, that is a
Hey,
gorgeous pink on that, dude. Very
nice,
watermelon-esque.
Yeah, this is my favorite one I painted.
I like that metallic, man. That's very nice on that.
Got some little fake buttons on the back.
Nice,
Oh,
dude.
head on the bottom.
Do you find it hard to try and convey how big they are in the pictures?
Yeah, so the other day I posted a pic with some of my vintage Star Wars guys just to get some scale because it's freaking huge.
Yeah, dude.
It really
for
is.
Sure.
Yeah, toys and tits right away. Nice, way
Exactly,
bigger
dude.
than
I think
thought.
everybody said the same thing. The first thing I saw when you held that, I was just like, "Oh shit, that's huge."
It's ginormous, right?
Yeah.
I was talking to a guy yesterday. I was selling him one of these and a ray gun wizard. He was like, "Well, is it bigger or smaller?" It's like, "Well, I don't know. Let me put them together." And it's actually a little taller. It's bigger. Yeah. So
Yeah.
and those aren't small. So yeah, that's the guy. His head moves and the arms go, and it's been pretty good. So
Man.
I always use a lot of metallic. So
nice. Now tell us about that figure, man. That's something that you designed.
yeah.
Four parts. What it looks like.
Bootleg Toy Co. did the digital sculpt for me. So actually,
nice.
The little propeller was his idea. We were working on a logo for the bottom, and he shot it back. And he's like, "Hey, how about that?" I was like, "Hell yeah, dude."
Yes, do that.
He's amazing. Great to work with.
Very cool, man.
Perfect collaborator. He's one of those Monster Bloodbath's the same way. Shoot him some drawings, add some of your own interpretation. Part of the reason I wanted to use somebody like that is because I'm like super new to this, like the joints and that stuff. Like, I don't know how any of that works. Like, I have a lot of Safubi and I'd look at it and see, how do I want it to work? And so we had good feedback on all that and how to do that. And he banged it out super duper quick. But we put there's little battle damage and you can see his guts and all the joints have scars and skin growing over them and around all of them. So it's kind of cute. And then you look at it and it's like, yeah, it's kind of awful. Yeah, that's right where I'm at.
Having someone else sculpt it, do you find that almost makes you end up like it more? Or do you think you would like it more if it was how are you feeling about that sculpt in hand, I guess?
No, it turned out awesome. Bigger than I expected. I don't know what I was thinking. It's like, oh yeah, because it's only 6 inches tall. Right?
No,
but
that's so wide.
It's a foot wide.
Yeah.
Which I didn't consider, right? So we were trying to figure out how to get the vinyl to flow, right? So I had them in different poses, but to get it to flow, they kind of had to go that way.
Yeah.
So, 6 inches is a nice small size. Yeah. Way to go, Dave. No, but it turned out great. Great. And you can get some movement, to get some poses and stuff. You can get him sideways and give you a side eye. I love how just absolutely unconcerned the eye is.
Right? Well, it's just destroying things.
Yeah, it's gonna get you. So.
Yeah, dude, it's funny, man, that you say Bootleg Toy Co. because that reminds me of the eye on the Obaki coffin.
Yeah.
That he did, kind of, sorta. But dude, what a cool. So that's your first vinyl piece.
Yeah.
And you were just collecting. Before that, dude, I know that your resin stuff goes back a little ways.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I got started. So I did I started doing dioramas and stuff like that is how I got in it. So you're talking about how bored people are boring. So I can't sit still. I can't watch a movie. I'll have something on while I'm making. You guys' show is great because every Wednesday I'm painting or doing something and you guys are on. So that's how I kind of learned about painting and how to use paint. Paint does what it does. You got to learn, every paint's different. So I made a lot of dioramas, did some Gundams, did a lot of battle damage and like rust, and they look like, you know, real weathered. But I got to the point where it's like, okay, now I got a collection room full of this crap that I don't really want. I just like making it, right? So then I kind of stumbled into Sofubi and things like that. It's like, oh, well, I could do that and people will probably buy this stuff. And I really like it, right? So I'm always, even still, as I'm like buying pieces to paint, I always try to be really careful not to buy something I wouldn't want to keep. I must have okay taste because people usually buy it, right? So, but you know, it's expensive. You don't want to get stuck with, you know,
for sure.
So. Yeah, and then I got into resin. So like I started making. This guy lives on my desk. So this is like the original squid. This little bitty guy.
Gotcha, dude.
Yes,
and I saw some videos. Might have been Craftsman. I think he helped raise all of us, right?
Right.
So just doing silicone molds. So I made a whole bunch of like, it's a 2-piece thing. Well, like you can see them there. Yeah. So they're heads and bases and like heads and bodies and feet. Right. So I just made a whole bunch and then just mix and match them like Legos.
Nice.
Cause I didn't know what I'm doing. I still don't know what I'm doing. Like which ones look good together. Right.
Right.
But what I've learned about resin, you know, so the squid I've got down to this 1 piece that I can just pour. So there's a little got a little red blood in him.
Yeah, it's a nice one, dump mold.
Yeah, it's 1 piece, right? So those ones you were just showing, there's like 4 or 5 pieces on some of them, and you got to clean each one, and it's, you know, they're tiny, so you can't hardly sell them online. You know, right. I've sold a few at shows. A lot of times, so I still have a huge box of them from when I started, right? So I'll throw them in as extras when I sell stuff. So.
But yeah, they're like those $3 kind of grabs at a table at a convention or something.
Yep. Last round, I picked I painted a bunch just because I have a million, right? I was like, oh, here's the ones that have really nice paint or a cape or something special, and we'll sell one for like $5. So.
I mean, like these guys here, they look great, dude. Had you been doing painting before toy stuff? Like, was that something that appealed to you?
Just with the dioramas, I bought some like war game mini guys to go in it because I needed people to get into it. So I learned how to do that. I'm like okay at it, you know. But yeah, like that guy there in the middle, like the kit bashing stuff. That's just basically trash. I think it's an Allegra bottle, allergy bottle. That I used in like Gundam arms and half a wood bead. I love doing that stuff. I don't do much anymore.
That looks like Chica Toys, dude, when they first started off or something like that, dude. They use a lot of stuff like that.
So he's like a little guy and he's got robot arms and he's picking up trash and yeah, I love doing stuff like that. I actually forgot I made that until you showed the picture. So
damn, dude.
It's in a box somewhere, but you get just shelves of it, right? So kind of last convention I did a couple weeks ago, I brought a bunch of my resin stuff. I don't make it a lot anymore. It doesn't sell really well for me online for whatever reason. My audience doesn't buy my resin stuff. I do much better with the Sofubi. So
yeah,
I sold a couple.
Yeah.
So convention crowd's definitely a little different. I'm always surprised, like stuff I've had forever, somebody will buy it that, you know, nobody's bought it in 2 years. So
man, so you have a show coming up this weekend, correct?
It's the Comic-Con, Nebraska. So
Nebraska, yeah.
Nicholas Gaddy's his name. He's a painter out of Omaha. He's been huge help getting me into this stuff. He's been painting Sofubi and selling at shows for like a decade. He doesn't do a ton online, but like he was out at DECAY in Pasadena. A couple guys out of Omaha.
Gotcha.
No Function Toys makes his own Sofubi out of Omaha.
No Function Toys, is that what you said?
That's Lou. Yep. I got a couple of his pieces too. He's coming out with one. I think Nick's going to try to do his own pretty soon. Anyway, he's awesome. He's like, hey, I accidentally got a booth with 2 tables. Do you want one of them? I'm like,
oh, holy shit.
Absolutely, dude. It's just right up the road and it's money I wouldn't be making sitting at home and we can hang out, you know?
Yeah. So. Yeah, no kidding. So what's the plan, man? Bringing vinyl and resin there? Do you have?
Yeah. So I've got a bunch of. I'm gonna grab one. So like these guys, little squids. I also use them as dump molds. I sell quite a lot of those, so I try to do a pretty decent paint on them.
Yeah, no, those are great fun, man. And especially if you just have like a whole bunch of different colors. Oh, fuck
Oh, what's
off.
going on there, dude?
So I got like 4 of these on my side still. So you guys were always talking about resin, so you got me back into making some resin. So
Dude,
I made
tell
a
us
bunch
about that.
of. Let me grab the other one.
Yeah, I did not expect a slug as a head on there.
Dude, that was dope.
So I made a
Oh,
bunch
yes,
of these,
yeah.
and I screwed up the heads, and they didn't cast right. So I cut them off, and I was like, "Hey, the slug is about the right size." So I just put a magnet and made it dead.
Oh, dude, that's man, that's
But
good
it's
stuff,
like
dude.
a first run Skeletor body and a G1 Transformer Soundwave arm.
Yeah.
Like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. It's a tail, actually.
Oh,
I don't think I
nice, dude.
realized, like I saw this on the site earlier, but I don't think I realized the size of it. Didn't
Yeah.
glue in the slug and everything.
Yeah, it's on a He-Man body.
That's stupid.
Yeah, and it's got on the back, it's got a little custom, one of my little resin guys. So
Oh,
Dude,
hell
that looks like
yeah.
it's straight out of a Scraps show, dude. That's dope, man. I like
yeah, I
that.
always mix too much, clay up, or I use a lot of epoxy sculpt, 2-part stuff. I always mix too much, and that's honestly most of the little figures that I like the best were just I had some too much. I mix too much, sculpt something up, set it there. Yeah. But I only made, I think, 5 of those, and I'm keeping 1. So what's there is there, and I don't know if I'm going to make any more. So I made a bunch of the devil guys. So
Yeah, see, I saw those further down on your page.
yeah. So this
Those
one
are
I just painted
nice.
for me. He's got a Ninja Turtle shell.
Nice.
Yeah.
See, I'm surprised that those don't sell more. Like when you mentioned your resin stuff doesn't sell
Nope.
much.
I don't have a big resin audience.
But Safubi buyers typically don't regress back to resin. That's almost like
across the streams, I guess, right?
Yeah, resin buyers will buy Safubi, but like due to love Safubi, don't really seem to dabble back into resin. It's almost like once they've moved past resin, they just you better not, bro.
Yeah.
Man,
He's got all kinds of good stuff, right?
I got resin. Don't worry about that.
But I sell a lot of those slugs. That's where I was going with that.
Nice.
So I
Yeah,
do pretty
good,
well
nice.
with that. Yeah, and I've got some, like when I started, Blue Kappa's on. He's here in town. He's getting into airbrushing and making Safubi. Like I just buy stuff at Goodwill, right? So like I still have some of that stuff. The paint's pretty cool. Not doing any more of it, but I would love to move it on, so.
Yeah. So, man, just from talking to artists who went from resin into vinyl, I mean, it seems like it's a completely different thing when we're talking about, producing a piece. What is it about the vinyl that made you want to actually produce a vinyl toy? Was it the lack of action that you were getting from the resin?
No, I prefer the Safubi in painting.
Sure. Yeah.
It's just a whole different thing, right?
Yeah.
I've kind of enjoyed going back and forth. I was real happy to be done making those. Like I was so ready to be done with them. Because it's nonstop. It's pouring and it's painting and it's sanding and it's just
right.
And I made like a dozen of the devil guy. So I made a huge batch for my friend's band. So those all sold like hotcakes. So that's good.
Nice.
So.
Oh yeah.
Nice. So that's good. No, I collect soft vinyl. That's just my preference. And as a painter, sourcing stuff to paint is kind of tough sometimes. So it's much easier now that I know more artists. Like Ray Gun Wizard's been super generous with me. Bootleg Toy Co. has been great. I know enough people now that it's been pretty good and I can get stuff. But before I was just like picking up stuff off eBay. You may make $10 on it, So that was part of it. And just like, I'm a compulsively creative person who loves doing stuff. So it was kind of a bucket list thing. And it was on my, to do for this year. So I was like, well, beginning of the year, I better start on it. And it just rolled real quick and just happened. So it didn't just happen. It happened quickly.
What did you think about
like it's just an accident? No, it was a lot of work, and it just everything came together perfect. So
That's what I was going to ask, man, because I think a lot of vinyl artists that we talk to, especially when they're first getting into it, like the amount of research that goes into who's going to actually do your stuff, where it's
mhm.
coming from, what kind of communication you're going to have, what kind of shipping you're going to have, what kind of quantities you're going to order.
Right.
Did any of that deter you, or did you kind of figure out, or you kind of knew what you were getting into?
Well, I had limited resources. I
Yeah.
didn't go too in the weeds, so I knew like I had 2 digital sculptors to talk to, and the first one couldn't do it.
Yeah.
So the second and bootleg was like, yeah, sure, Um,
Yeah.
yeah, and the maker was just like there weren't a lot of options or choices. There was like
Right.
not as makers, but the one I chose, it was like this is what I want, this is what it costs, this is how much is shipping. Here we go. So
There you go.
and it got here, and here we are. So trash
Yeah.
bags full of blanks of foodie. So, nothing better, right?
For anybody who might be interested in getting somebody to do a sculpt for them, what is kind of that commissioning process like? Besides just reaching out and saying, "Hey, I'd love you to do my sculpt."
Well, that's where I started, right? Um, have an idea. I can't draw at all. It's terrible. So I would say the better you can communicate your idea, the better, right?
Yeah.
So I started sketching up my next round the other night. So I'm trying to do like a side profile and a front profile and do more parts and pieces. I think,
For a whole other Safubi toy.
yeah.
Oh, you got the fever now.
Oh well, I don't, eat, sleep, work, and make stuff, right? So if I'm not doing that, I'm doing something else. So,
Yeah.
but I think for me, it was also important, like especially with this one, like I know the limitations of the art I gave you. Like I'm gonna be gracious and give you a lot of leeway and not be an a-hole and nitpick what you're doing because he was just super generous with his time to start with. I think we've all met people on the other side of that too, right? Well,
Sure.
I want this like this and this like this, and we'll do it quicker. And I'm like, no, dude, I gave you like a 4th grader's level art drawing on a napkin, Yeah, it's basically, and he killed it, So, and the next one's going to be a lot more complicated. I think this one was it's pretty simple shapes. It's a cone with arms.
But that's what you want. Like, what's so great about that piece, actually, man, is like it can be a really good shelf piece,
Mhm.
and then because the arms aren't too crazy big or anything, you can easily put dudes in front or side, or you can do that,
Give
and
'em a
there's
hug.
still, yeah, it definitely makes for like a nice, good shelf piece, man. That's huge.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, I had him up by the moon dons the other day.
Good comparison,
He's
dude, as
not
far as
quite
size
that
goes.
big.
Yes.
That's when you're talking about when you open it, you're like, oh my God, those things are ginormous.
And it's bagged up too. Now, are you bagging those up?
Yeah.
That's so cool, dude. I love
Yeah,
that
I
shit.
stopped putting the headers on the bags though, because
Okay.
it's unruly.
Yeah. Well, and I'm sure that makes it a little bit tricky when you're shipping it too, man. That's just kind of an awkward shaped piece.
Well, it's already like, yeah, because the boxes get long.
Yeah, exactly. When you said that you weren't familiar with like how the articulation works necessarily, besides what you know from collecting, did that
Mhm.
limit your kind of design or what you thought was possible as far as articulation goes?
I've painted and built enough stuff,
Sure.
like between scratch building and all that. Like I'm very well in tune with how all that goes. I
Yeah.
thought a lot about how it would be to paint, honestly. So like,
Yeah.
I left a lot of open space for people who are more creative and better painters than I am to like do stuff on there, right?
yeah.
And there's a lot of room where you can do a lot of things on it.
Well, admittedly, what color of vinyl did you grab?
It is a kind of red, dark orange.
Damn.
It's all painted on there. Sorry. And then
Oh no, it's gorgeous.
like a blue. Yeah. So I did like just a little bit of light kind of pink spray on it. And this is like a lime green. And this is green metallic. And then on the arm, I think it's silver from the top and gold from the bottom.
Oh, jeez, man.
Nice, dude. What kind of experience do you have? Like, where did the vinyl painting When did that start, man? What's the background in that?
I've only been painting vinyl like 3 years, maybe. I was trying to think of that because I knew you'd ask.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
I got one on my shelf somewhere when I collect, and I think it was from 3 years ago. I just wanted to do it. Just from collecting, it was just something I wanted to get to. So I was kind of in this stage of life where I do have time to do this, right?
Yeah.
Like my kid's grown, living by myself, right? I've been through that time in life where it was crazy nonstop and horrible and too much. And so I'm enjoying this time where I'm just going to like come home from work. Maybe I'll eat, maybe I'll paint, maybe I'll take a nap, it's been good. So, cause I'm always doing something. So yeah, it was just kind of the next progression. Cause before, like I was literally painting all the time anyway, making stuff, painting stuff. It's like, well, let's just try something else.
Yeah.
Because I never airbrushed before either, even doing all that other. It was all by hand, mostly acrylics. And I would do some oil paint on it too. You can get some cool effects with that too. So, so it's comfortable with like different kinds of paints and weird chemicals and cleaners and all that stuff. So yeah, the Vinyl Wonder paint. Like I think I've been very fortunate in the steps that I've stumbled into with a lot of this. Vinyl Wonder was the first paint I bought for Sofubi. It's so easy to work with. You're talking about airbrushes before I hopped on. Like you barely have to clean your airbrush with it because it just comes right out. It's like so easy. Like it's the best.
Nice.
It's amazing stuff. So
yeah. When you said you started off painting or just kind of finding pieces to paint, was there something that you're looking for specifically? I have some of your work here, man, and I mean, they're all so different. Yeah. As far as not only the paint, how the paint looks, but the figures are extremely different too.
So it's been, I think, a good experience because I kind of like to go from just painting whatever I could get. It's like, well, what does the piece need? Right? Like rather than me putting my style on it, you're going to get my style. I'm sure if you lined up all my stuff, there's like, okay, yeah, that kind of looks like Dave's stuff. But like, yeah, I'm looking at what's behind you, like very different stuff. Right.
Oh, dude. This guy from Weeping Warlock.
Yeah. Yeah. Marbled stuff. Sick, I try to stay away from marbled and GID and
that Moon King is sick, dude. Look at that shit.
When you're seeing pieces to buy now, do you find you're generally thinking more from a painter's eye than you are from a collector's grab?
Maybe both, honestly. I would love to get more of those bug guys, but the prices are kind of all over the place. And so price is a lot of it too. Like, how cool is it? Like, Sofubi prices are all over. Like, guys that collect the high end stuff, I'm always like, it's cool. Is it $400 cool? I could buy a lot of cool stuff for $400.
Or 8 or 9 or 1,000. Some of that stuff, dude, is just, it's crazy.
And I kind of have a price point that I want to be in for what I'm selling. Right? Like, I don't know that I've ever sold anything over $200. Maybe. Depending on what it is, right? So if it's like a real collectible thing, or like I had a couple Wonder Goblin pieces that sold pretty quick. I knew that would sell. So kind of both. It's just if it catches my eye and it's something unique, and or maybe it's something that I want to try a different technique. Or I bought a Hoax Toys had his Cortexatrons. I don't know if you guys have seen those. Let me grab it.
I was gonna say it's not ringing a bell to me at this moment, but
what company was that?
Hoax.
Oh,
okay, yeah, because you have a whole bunch of those actually on your page right now.
I got 2. This one I'm keeping. So I wanted to try some clear with gut stuff, right? So I got this one just because I wanted to do that. Yes. So I cut up little strips of the Cape vinyl and put it inside. It's kind of hard to see, so all is
I can see. Yeah, dude, I like it. You can see that, dude. I like that shit.
Yeah,
that kind of iridescent. Yeah,
it's just clear vinyl and painted the inside of the brain, so you get kind of that look through the vinyl. Yeah, so I got that one just because I wanted to do that. right?
Right.
Or, you know, try a technique. Or I'm always trying to like learn new things because like I'm still,
But
I'm
I mean,
confident in my painting, but I'm definitely still like learning things.
Sure.
like
That guy's
came
for
out-
sale.
That's the one you're gonna be just selling. Yeah, this is nuts, man. And then of course the fucking.
Oof.
It's got super glow on it. So that I
Yeah.
kind of check too. It's like, well, if I do a dark rub, is it going to work with the glow? Because sometimes you even use translucent paint over a glow, and if it doesn't glow bright enough, it doesn't really work, right?
Right.
No, that one glows even like during the day in my office where I keep stuff. Like I turned like I could see it glowing, like when it was overcast. So
Yeah.
No, that's a beauty, man.
yeah, so I was messing around making capes. I put a metal snap on it, you know, just learning how to do different stuff.
Fun. Sorry.
And that style probably came from, you know, doing dioramas and stuff, that like dirty Warhammer style. And
Yeah.
it's a rub, but there's a lot of paint still on it. How dirty and grimy can I leave it? You know?
Yeah,
So,
right. It's a nice one.
Frick. Sorry, dude. Just
Yeah.
sitting here.
it catches my eye. I also had a guy who would sell, he sold art toys. So sometimes I would get a bunch from him and he could get me a decent deal. And I did
Nice.
that for quite a while too. So
I was gonna ask that, and I didn't know like the appropriate way of asking. So please feel free to just kind of next question type deal. But when you're doing something like this and knowing that you're getting to know some of the other makers in the scene, if you go to do something like 4 or 5 of their figures, like you have like 5 of like the Swarm Madball style ones, do you get like pay full price for those, or do you sometimes know these individuals and they'll kind of work something out with you where get a bundle for a price? And
right, I will usually get a discount. Right, depends on the guys and who it is. Honestly, I probably wouldn't buy 5 at full price because that doesn't make any sense for me either.
you would have to, then you'd be entering into that $200-300 sell price.
But I always say like, hey, this is who I am. I'm gonna, you know, paint and resell these. I'm gonna probably keep this one for myself. Do you have any blanks? You know, where would you be at on them?
Yeah.
And almost everybody is like, yeah, I can give you this price on them. And most people have been very, very generous. So
Yeah, dude, I think it probably makes it easier the more you build up your portfolio with your work. I mean, anybody who checks out your page would see that that it's legit work, man. That's cool.
Well,
I don't work with a favor. Like I'd love to see what other people do with my figure, right? So I'm definitely not one of those people that it's only mine and only I can paint it. Like, nah, dude,
Sure.
I'm just some schmuck who paints, you know, like take it.
I think I'd be nervous putting blanks out there and then just waiting to see like, oh, that person just posted my piece on their wall and they didn't specify that's their janky ass paint app on there, not mine.
Oh, I took it the other way. It's like, oh, it's so much better than my paint. That's the way I took it. So.
No, I'd be so afraid of that. I'd be like, dang it, dude, what'd you do to my boy?
Well, once it's out of my hands, it's out of my control. So
It is. Now that you have that first vinyl figure done, man, going into your second vinyl figure, any lessons learned from that first trip around? Let's go over some of those.
I try to take lessons learned from everything, like
Sure.
every paint job. I always kind of joke with myself, like, I don't know if this one is, maybe it's not. You can tell it's one of my paint jobs because it's got paint splattered on it that shouldn't be. Yep, right there. So that's my goal for this year to stop splattering paint. Yeah, well, I want to make it different. So I want to make it a little taller, more straight up and down human shape, you know?
Sure.
I mean, knock on wood, the process was so smooth. Like, you know,
Yeah.
I'm one of those guys. I'm really lucky in life with some things, and some things I really haven't been, but this has been one of them. You know, it was like boom, 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 boom.
I know when we were talking to Titty a couple weeks ago, they mentioned that, you know, everything was running smooth, awesome. Then they got what the shipping fee bill was going to be. Did that catch you by surprise as well? Was that a little bit of like oof, or?
No, I knew it would be. And mine managed, they all came in one big old box. So, and I didn't get a huge quantity. I got 40 of them. I've heard a lot of guys say it's like they let you only do 40. I didn't ask. I just said I wanted 40. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that got me around some things like this is what I want. Can you do it? Yeah. If I would have got any more, it probably would have had to come in 2 boxes, which probably would have been a lot more. Yeah, I don't know. Just gonna do what I want and see how it goes. And well, at the point, it's like, why compromise? And if it comes back and the price is insane, it's like, okay, let's relook at it again. And like, that's outside, you got to have a budget and like know what your means are, but
Sure.
How many Safubi figures am I ever going to make? I may never make another one. I'd like to, but might as well go for it, So I don't know. I mean, I'm going to take more time in my sketches that I provide, right? Give them more to go off of. Take more time. This one's different because I've kind of been developing it over years. Like even on my site, there's some bigger resin ones that I did that I think are still for sale. You don't have to bring it up, but there's still a few rattling around if anybody wants one. So it's an idea I've kind of been workshopping for, like 3 years. So now it's kind of starting from scratch. I'm kind of pulling from some of my resin work because, those are my original figures. It was funny. I was sketching one up the other day. This idea has been cooking in my head and I got it all done. I was like, oh my God, it's just like that guy's figure. I'm like, oh, I didn't even realize it until I had it on paper. So no, we're going to rework it a little bit, take my time with it. Don't rush into it. I like to have a good plan. And when the plan's the plan, okay, let's go. And we're on to the next phase. And I usually have like a good plan in motion. So when it's time, it's time. Let's go. There's no second thinking. Like you thought about it, do it. So
you plan on using the same factory this time around?
Yeah, if it works. Yeah. So I know I used Rabbit, so I know they're getting busy and
they're getting popular. They've grown.
I had great luck with them. They cut all the flash off. That was nice. That was not something we discussed, and it came that way. Oh man, that would be a nightmare.
Well, they are. They're great quality too, man. I mean, every piece that I have from them, from probably, I mean, shit, dude, I'd probably have to really think about how many different artists that I have from that factory, but there's a lot, and the quality is always very, very nice, dude.
It was funny. You guys were talking about people getting skipped in line the other night. I was like, I know mine skipped Bootleg's figure. He told me so.
Yeah. Yeah.
But sometimes it could even be the complexity of the figure. It could be how many joints. It could be the size. It could even just be the fact of the colors you picked.
This one's big, simple shapes.
Yeah.
So I think that definitely helped. There's not a lot of tiny little details. There's a lot of big details, but
for sure, man.
Yeah, and with it.
I was talking to somebody a couple weeks ago, man, and we were talking about like factories. Now this was an artist, and so they knew way more about the factories than I do, but my only input on it really was that like those factories are they're businesses too, so they're trying to take more people. And just like you said, man, the way that yours is constructed and the way it is, maybe it was something that they're like, oh yeah, we can blow that out super easy. And I think any company would probably do the same, look at that and say, that's an easy one for us. We can do this really quick, pump this out and then get the other ones going. How it looks on the other end. I mean, that is obviously, that company is booming right now with the amount of people that are using that one. So, and I'm sure who knows, man, hopefully they're trying to expand as well. But
that makes a lot of sense, right? Is this an afternoon job or is it a two-day job, right? Well, I got an afternoon. Let's get DECAY's thing in here.
Dude, for all we know, right? Like for all we know that they have another full-time job and this is something that they're doing as a hobby in their spare time.
Right.
And they're like, holy shit, man, this is getting crazy,
Right. Everybody's hustling. So
that's what's happening at the 7-Eleven when they keep going behind that little door.
They're pulling Safubi.
Pulling Safubi. I knew something was up, man.
Damn. Oh man. Dude, so the process for making a resin figure and a vinyl figure, like we've been talking about, dude, it's obviously extremely different as far as like time goes. Have you noticed anything that you like more about the resin or vice versa, that you like about the vinyl more, that kind of pushes you into wanting to make the next figure in whatever medium that might be?
Yeah. Well, I don't sell much resin stuff, so that's a big factor.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you notice that with your own vinyl figure, it's doing as well as like your standard vinyl? No, you don't have to put you on the
Yeah,
spot.
pretty
Yeah.
well. You know, I've
Hell
had
yeah.
it out just about 2 weeks. I've sold, I don't know, 10, a dozen of them, so doing pretty good.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mainly just like some shows I've been at and on Instagram. You know, I haven't done a ton of like paid advertising for it, really at all.
I
Yeah,
think that's
pretty good.
I think the more collectors start getting that piece, the more you'll
Yep.
see traction on it, because it's just so big that even everybody tonight,
For
like,
sure.
the first thing everybody said, "Oh, damn, that's so much bigger,"
It's
and
huge.
that helps people kind of conceive
Yeah.
how they want it on their shelf, etc.
Exactly.
Do
Yeah,
you
so
have
I've just got a
anyway?
few out. I did a custom for a gal. She just got hers, so hers turned out really nice. So I'm glad I did that. Because it's
Custom.
colors I wouldn't use, and I painted it a little different. Like I went pretty conservative. Like I just put the paint around what's on it on this first run because I didn't want to go too crazy. But hers, it kind of went all over, and it's pastel colors. It's really nice. So the resin, I love the resin because I can do it at home, right? So I can just have a finished product. I really do enjoy like the sculpting of it. I'm not very good at it, but that's just a lack of practice, like anything. I do enjoy that. So it's funny. I keep catching myself. I've learned over the years I like to sculpt things that don't photograph well either. So a lot of my sculpts are like, you know, just like either the figures look straight up. Like I got this big eyeball with legs that the eye looks straight up and it looks like in a picture, you can't even tell what it is, you know? Yeah, just making big batches of resin to sell. I think that's just a lot for me, but I'll definitely do like, so I think I want to revisit like and do like maybe some little packs, like, you know, do my little squid. I've got a little tank that goes with it and do like a little battle pack or something, you know, do little packs of the little ones. If I can get them down to like 1 or 2 pieces, doing the 4 or 5 little pieces, just the time it takes is just, well, then you have to glue them too, and then gluing it and shipping them. And it's like, are they going to fall apart? Are they going to bust? Or some kid going to eat it? Or, you know, it's just, well, because they're tiny, you know.
Yeah.
I can tell you
for
it's
sure.
not for kids, but, you know.
Yeah. Now the vinyl, are you selling blanks of the vinyl, or are you doing all like one-offs?
Right now, I haven't been selling blanks.
Okay.
I kind of want to see how it goes.
Sure.
I might. So I think there's 2 colors. I did a run of 6, and 2 I did a run of 3 colors, and then I did like 1 or 2 just one-offs. So
yeah,
I kind of want to move some that I've got left, and then I'll probably do another round. So
nice.
Yeah. If somebody really, really wants a blank, you can contact me. But for now, you know, I kind of, if they're not moving, I'll probably sell some blanks. Is kind of the way I'm looking at it. So just like I'm a painter. I enjoy painting. That's what I bought them to do. Profit's a lot better that way too. So
when you mentioned doing customs, like, have you left yourself a little pile for that, or it just kind of happened?
I was just talking to this gal, and I know she posts a lot of stuff, and she's been, you know, we've been following each other for a long time, and I don't know what we were talking about. Maybe just even commented on one of her posts or her on one of mine. I was like, hey, I got these. Do you want a custom one? For me, for this figure, it's the same amount of time for me to paint it, a custom or normal, honestly, because it's like it's big. They're big details. It's not like I don't mask anything on them. I just go at it.
Even the eyelids?
Yeah.
People?
So I tried making masks and like, yeah, that one. And it failed miserably at it. So I kind of decided, it's like, well, you better just learn to be a good painter and just do it. So I put it down, the paint down in an order that it hides the overspray on the eyelids.
Right. Okay.
So I think I do like the silver on the eye last, so it hides the overspray from the eyelid.
If anything, that probably just adds like a beautiful pearlescent too, though.
Well, that's what I'm gonna say. You can kind of see where the overspray blends around the eye.
Yeah.
So, and that one has a lot of intentional overspray. So
That's a gorgeous piece, dude.
Dude, there's a nice looking landscape too, man, for all the, I mean, you got the big eye and then the nice big canvas on the back and on the front, but then you got two different arms, the tentacle and then kind of the robot. The one that you did with the metallic on the robot arm, dude, that very nice, dude. I think people could do a lot of different stuff with that.
I did one where there's like that one's got like rust up and down his arm, so I hand sponged all that on, 2 different colors of rust to make it more rusty. That's from my diorama days. And talking about overspray, so the fluorescent green around the metal parts also hides the overspray. So it's like, oh, I can do that, and then I can kind of hide the silver overspray around the sides. So.
Sure.
The fact that that silver is not hand painted and is sprayed is stupid.
Wonder vinyl.
It's so tight.
Dude, I like that cut detail on the back side too, where it looks like a little spine coming through or something. That was sick.
A little tail coming through.
Yeah, right there. Nice. Very cool.
I like those buttons. I've always liked those buttons on the back. So it's kind of like that's either like in fantasy world how you control it, or like if it was a real toy, like that's the lights and sounds or whatever, you know,
Yeah.
that makes him screech at you or make robot noises, or
There's a little screw in there to remove the battery door.
the batteries, right? Replace the light in his eye, you know.
Yeah, there you go. There you go. Damn.
But
that's
yeah,
a
I
good
did
idea,
those
actually,
so
dude.
people
When
could
you
kind
play
of get
one,
scale. So I got a few I did. I've got some old adventure people I collected too. So I got some fun ones I need to post one of these days. The squid like tearing up a campsite, adventure people like running away. And
There you go. There you go. Very nice. Now for the header card, are you doing all your own artwork for that as well?
no, cannot draw. Cannot draw. You know, I think a lot of this is knowing your limitations, right?
Sure.
It's like I don't have a problem. Like, so I had Monster Bloodbath do it.
Sweet. Pete Johnson.
So there's,
I
if
like
you're on the
Pete,
site,
man.
there's probably a picture in there somewhere too. So yeah, so there's a little lore in there. He did a great job. Just gave him a few ideas in a sketch, and he went crazy with it. And there's squids attacking the city and climbing buildings and smashing
Nice,
stuff.
dude.
He's just great. He's so
Yeah, man. His artwork at his tables, he's always got a good variety of stuff, but his artwork, dude, I have a couple t-shirts from him too that are man, they're super cool. Nice, dude. And is that's the header right there?
Yeah, that's the front, and somewhere there's maybe I didn't put it on there. Anyway, on my Instagram, there's the full fold out. So
Sweet.
yeah,
Nice.
Interesting.
Wow.
I've still got one of his great big Safubis I need to paint with the big eyeball and the.
Yeah, dude. Is that what's that called, dude? Crybaby?
I don't even remember. I bought 2. I got one in my collection and another one I need to paint still. So
Yeah.
I think so.
Dude, the scale
That
on-
is big. You think the squid's big? That's like twice as big.
Yeah, dude. I was gonna say the scale on that thing's fucking massive, dude. Those things are huge.
I was messing with it yesterday. So
Yeah. So shoot, man, you got the
Comic-Con?
the con coming up this weekend.
yep, Omaha. It's not Omaha Comic Con. We just did that. Comic Con, Nebraska.
Okay.
And I'm kind of new to all that too. So I've only been selling for like a year and a half. So I'm just like a baby with this stuff. So hopefully
That's a pretty good assortment of goods you're bringing with you.
that's my last batch. The acid ma already sold, so he's gone.
Fair. Yeah.
That
As soon as I
thing's
saw that
crazy.
earlier, I was like, damn, I haven't seen an acid man in a long time.
Yeah, I think I got that from the guy who I'll buy a bunch of stuff from, and you know a lot of it's older, but yeah. Yep, and the Cortex guy, the orange guy's a head off a skull headbutt. I posted the this guy, pumpkin guy.
Oh
yes,
my god,
yeah.
dude. Did Slightly have you posted that?
Yeah.
Did Slightly Adrift hit you up about that?
So funny story. I hit him up. So I've got a
Okay.
bunch of stuff over him. I was like, "Hey, do you got any extras of those around? You want to get rid of?"
Yeah.
So
I
he
knew
kind of
he was
walked
gonna
me
comment.
through what fit and what works.
Oh.
And I was like, "Oh, there's one on Vicious Fun. I think I'll pick it up." And he's like, "Yeah, it was mine." So I'm like,
I swear to God, dude, I've hit him up. First of all, Slightly Adrift, dude. If anybody's not following him, Check, that's an amazing vinyl collection.
Yeah.
But those the Rotten Tomatoes, he's got an outstanding collection of those. I actually have one in my collection too from him. And they are very, very cool, man. Holy smokes.
Yeah, and he was like, "Yep, they fit right on this body. It's a tiny bit snug, but they go right on the skull headbutt bodies.
Yeah,
If anybody wants to do it." So
very nice.
I did a little highlights on the head to make it match a little better, but not much. And then I painted the body. It's gold. It was like clear with gold sprinkles in it.
That is sick,
Isn't
man.
that crazy?
But it's funny, man, because sometimes I'll look through Vicious Fun, and for some reason, dude, like if you've seen Slightly Adjust collection, you can tell like, oh man, this piece would totally fit in his collection. I hit him up and be like, is this from you? And he was like, yeah, that was mine.
Yep.
And it's like, dude, they just have that look. You know what I mean? I know where that came from. Lots of Wonder Goblin, really cool stuff though too.
Yeah, he's hooked me up a few times with some great stuff. Well, and
Yeah.
he's another person that really helped me get into Safubi because it's like it's overwhelming. You need to get into it, and he likes stuff that definitely wasn't on my radar. Right.
Sure.
And it's all like super nice stuff. His collection's great. So
Yeah, I think that's the one thing that I've really relied on is a lot of people knowing stuff about it because man, as much as I try to learn, dude, it seems like every day there's probably 10 to 15 Safubi accounts that I've never seen before that, it says like, oh, 300 people that are following this person. I'm just like, well, who is this? And it just keeps on going on and on and on. And it's just like, it's amazing, man. The Safubi world it's a different thing, man. There's so much of it out there.
Well, it's worldwide, I mean, it's people literally around the world. So yeah. That's kind of the fun of it. I like hobbies that you can't master and there's like no end to it. So
yeah,
I'm not going to get bored with it, right? I'm never going to get so good at painting that, oh, I'm too good, I'll quit, like,
dude,
no.
It's like this show, man. We've been trying to end this show for years now, dude. And everybody like yourself keeps making stuff. So here we are, man. Just
haven't mastered it yet.
Slug it away.
Well, I appreciate all the love you guys give me. So
absolutely, man. So what's next on the docket for you, man? You got the show coming up this weekend, but on a bigger scale. You gonna let this first figure kind of marinate for a little while, or are you gonna move
I don't want to wait too long to get the second one going. I probably need to make a little more money to pay for it. But
sure.
Yeah, I do. I also I got a music project coming up this fall I need to work on. So
okay.
We could do a whole nother. There you go. Right. We could do a whole nother thing on that. So like 3/4 of my basement's a recording studio. So if I wasn't doing that, I'd probably be pulling my own vinyl. So
nice.
that's kind of who I am. So hopefully I'm recording an album for some guys this fall. So I'll probably take a little time off to do that. So I kind of want to get the new one at least in the pipeline.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, because like getting this Safubi out was such a big milestone. I'm just kind of over the hump of like, well, I don't know, I hadn't really thought about what to do.
Well, man, with the design time and then the production time, I mean, I don't know how long it took you, but I've heard that it can go on for months, man. So getting that first one, I'm sure is probably a breath of fresh air to
mine was about 4 months from the time I contacted Rabbit to having it in my hand. So
nice.
Not going to complain about that. So
yeah,
no, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, damn. Do you think you'll order more of the battle squids before you put in your next sculpt?
I would love to. I need to sell a few more.
Of course.
Yeah, I just spent a couple days too with just cooking. Like, oh, what color do I want? Like, I thought about doing like getting some clear ones and like maybe doing like a squishy braid inside. I thought that would be pretty cool.
Oh, dude,
that would be a lot of fun.
Then I got to learn how to make squishy braids. I know Hoax Toys did something too, so I may hit him up. Make me some brains. So
yeah,
that's what he was doing before he did this. He had a whole run of like little
squish
brains, like little squish ball guys that he made. I think he made them all. So he made molds. Do that. Need to do some music stuff. I got about half an album of my own stuff that's been sitting around for a while that needs to. I either need to release it as like the 4 or 5 songs I have done, or like do it as a whole album. So no one will ever hear it. You'll hear it in the back of my Instagram. So if you see Music in the Dark in there, that's me in the music. So I
Nice.
checked my CD baby. I've earned $6 in streaming in like 8 years. So
Hey, man.
Tax
yeah, it's just fun. So I've done music like my whole life. So I'm new to this. So
Yeah.
it's funny. Like I love listening to you guys, and it's like so much of it directly translates over to that in the creative process. So
Sure.
I've already worked through people not giving a shit about my art. So like I'm well past that, right?
Yeah.
And it's worse when you're 20 playing in a band because people aren't nice about it, you know? So
yeah.
No, but the toy community's like the toy community's great.
But I think that's important, dude. What you just said there is that you've already come across some of that. I mean, like a mean word for it would be rejection, right? Or maybe something that just doesn't sell or something like that. But
right.
I think for some people that maybe don't have like an artistic background where they're making something and then trying to sell something, that they come into this and they get very upset when people don't repost, or maybe they have a run of something that doesn't sell out, and you can tell, man, like their whole demeanor, they stop posting. And it's just like, it's shitty, man, because there's so many other reasons why people say, well, why aren't people buying right now? And it's like, dude, go ahead and start that list. It's a long one on why people aren't buying.
data centers.
Yeah, right. That's part of it. But
right. Yeah.
But it's a whole bunch of different things on why people. But I think that
you got to thick skin about it. You just do.
Yeah, and I think a lot of the people that we've seen that end up doing some really, really cool shit, man, are people that maybe haven't done cool stuff on every single release, but they're still doing it, you know? And, sometimes there's hits, sometimes there's misses. I think it's rare for someone to have a hit every single time, but I guess you just never know until you put it out there. And then plus, dude, I love going back on people's page and seeing stuff that's still in their store that's been sitting there for 3 years. I'm like, I can't believe nobody bought that. Or maybe you're not even doing resin anymore in a couple years, and you're like, oh shit, look at this little gem.
Yeah, I thought about pulling some of the resin stuff off my site, but it'll sit there. It's not.
Someone will buy it, man. Someone will buy it.
The Slug Monster guys, I sell a few of still.
Yeah,
those are. These guys.
Oh, nice, dude. That's got a little Hedora look to it.
Yeah, that's basically what it is. So they've all got a little
oh hell yeah,
matching smokestack. So I did him with his mouth open. So
that's fun, man.
Those are all cast in resin. So I've got a few different colors. I got a few glow in the dark ones I need to paint that have just been chilling for a while. So
yeah,
those have been fun. I've done pretty well with those. So those resin pieces I've definitely done the best on. For sure. So
yeah.
Well, on the other side with that, it's like, well, maybe some of my resin stuff just isn't that good, which is entirely possible.
No, resin's a weird beast, I think. Like B and I see certain things that we think look fucking super cool, certain people that make really sick stuff, that resin's just a tough one. And especially shipping kind of impacts it. It's great when you're at a show if people know what resin is. Because then that also becomes a problem. If you go to like an art show, but nobody else there has any kind of art toys, and you're another dude, suddenly doesn't go over as hot.
These guys too. I'm surprised I don't sell more of these.
I was gonna ask you about the skull,
dude.
Yeah,
but even the scale on those, man, I thought those were like
huge.
the size of a fucking quarter.
Nope,
those are huge.
Okay, see, now to me, and no offense, because I don't know, but to me, that's way cooler when I see the scale of it. I'm like, that's
it's
fucking
translucent,
rad.
So the light catches it. So I did. So a fella named Ditto Crutch, he's a musician, so he had me do these for his album release.
Okay.
Which is called Lyman Skulls. That's why it looks like this. So I was like, well, hey, how about a skull with a lemon coming out his head? But yeah, I keep it in my office, and the sun hits it, and it catches it good. And yeah, I probably need to do some better pictures on my site with the scale.
It's weird how good the translucent works on that.
Yeah,
I hate how much like actual lemon the frickin' it even has like a thick rind part to it. That's
yeah. And the clear part, dude, it looks like those 90s block bricks that you'd see in like showers and stuff like that. That kind of glass brick type thing. But dude, that's cool, man. That's like I said, the scale is way different than what I thought it was online. That's awesome, man. I like that.
But you got to have a place to put it too, and that's the downside of big things. So
Yeah. God, dude. I was looking at, you said that's about 12 inches across as far as the tentacles go on the
the squid, yeah, from the tip to the tip. But you can like snake it behind things, right? So he's not very deep.
right.
No, I think that's, dude. Somehow I missed all the little suction cups on the squid arm at first too.
Oh
What a
man.
fun piece.
Dude, and if you were painting that, you know what I mean? Think about like what Ophelia Toys would do to something like that.
I've thought about doing like each one a different color, but
Oh,
I was actually going to
God,
be a little Karen and be like, how come you didn't individually paint those? But
right. Well, and some of them I like painted the buttons, some of them I didn't. It just
yeah.
Your paint, dude. You got some clean paint work, dude.
I made a mask for him, but I stopped using it because I was getting cleaner lines without it.
Oh.
Any plans to like swap collab with people? Take somebody's head, put it on your dude, send them some bodies.
You know, that may be something I need to think about when I do the next one. Honestly,
Yeah, fair.
Because I didn't think about that at all with this one, and I've been considering that more. So yeah, it was like I want it this big, do it, and that was literally my process. So take my money, take it.
Now that you have 40, are you almost kind of sitting there being like, fuck, I almost wish I had 80?
Well, and I've sold
if money was no object.
So I'm in that funny middle spot. Well, I painted that first batch. I was like, oh shit, that's like half of them are done, you know? But I've always wanted to do like a reorder. So like good problem to have, you know? So when I did my drop, I didn't have anybody banging, like people weren't banging down the door to get them. So, you know, but again, the scale's weird and like, I'm not worried about it at all. Right.
Well,
so
and
it takes me 2 years to sell them. Yeah, that's fine. You know, so
IG drops can also be weird because and I'm sure everybody says this with the algorithm, but you know, it'll be 3 days later you see somebody post it and it's like drops live and you're like, oh, sick, 3 days ago, and you're like, oh, damn, my bad.
Yeah, I've had real good luck with some. I think it's more just what people are interested in and what they're looking for.
Fair. No, I mean, do you do anywhere else? Do you do like Reddit or Facebook Marketplace? Any of that stuff? Just in IG?
Not really. Mainly Instagram, and we'll do a little advertising with the drops.
Yeah.
I kind of switched to doing that, just like saving up everything I paint for a month and just do one big drop. That seems to work pretty well. So I had one dude last time waiting, like he was the first one in. Poor guy. He's like, oh, I worked night shift and I waited up to get it. I sent it clear to California and he sent me a picture of the box and it was all liquid.
Oh no, dude.
So luckily I had more in the batch. He's gonna send it back and I'm gonna send him a new one.
Oh, that sucks.
It's one of those Zorps with the pointy head and the
man,
like we're going through the box and shit.
Dude, did you see that last round of Zorps that were from, I believe, Ghost Gradients painted them?
Yeah,
dude, those are so.
Those are like, I need to learn to paint better.
God, those are so cool, man.
Well, it's time. So some of it for me, it's like, it's time and energy, and you know. Those were a challenge for me. It's like, what the hell do I do with these? Because there's so much detail and it's everywhere. And that's kind of the challenge doing a lot of one-offs all the time too. Because you don't learn where all the little bumps and, you know, all the little the goodie spots are when you're done.
By the time you get it, then you're on to the next.
Yeah. Those I've had good luck with for the Zorbs.
I think we saw a good example of that last week, man, with Shotgun Karaoke and his resin piece that he had. And I think it was Zargon, right? When you look at the blank, it's really hard to pick up any of the detail. But once you saw some of those painted versions come out, you're like, oh, shit, man, there's a lot of detail in that. Those are cool.
Yeah, you could go crazy on those Zorps and spend hours painting everything.
Yeah.
I bet. Actually,
this one's about to shine, obviously. You know, it's a pretty quick paint job. There's a lot of little details, though. Like I did the orange spots on the wrists match the eyes, and then the eyes on the chest are painted in. There's like pink dots down the back of his spine. I did a few touches.
Oh, nice. Yeah.
You can't see him because of the backlight, but yeah.
No, that's sharp, dude.
It's a great man.
Yeah.
That's definitely an example of like minimalism though, like coming through. But you still rainbow sprayed it, right? Or was the vinyl already that?
No, it's clear.
Yeah, you.
So yeah,
Oh,
so I did the
wow.
rainbow spray.
Yeah.
I think I did 3 of them. So it's all the translucent vinyl wonder. Man, that's good paint too.
Mm.
Well, I'm not to jinx it, but there's not a bubble or what. I mean, it's just it goes on
Yeah.
so nice and like
Love that.
I
Yeah.
just grew up. So well, some of it, like I've had a hard time. Like some of it, you got to be careful with because it'll like puddle up on you, or that translucent is just like spray it on and go.
Sticks, eh? I love
Yeah.
that, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah. So hopefully, start working on the next one. Need to play a little music, chip away at that. So got a band that's ready to come in. So I think this fall. So that should be fun. Get back to do a little of that before I get too rusty. So
Yeah.
Got a very busy next couple months.
I'm always busy. I don't like to be bored, man. Let's keep it going.
That's
So
what's
yeah.
up.
You say that'll keep it going, man. Dude, we've been at this for just about an hour now, man. Is there anything else you want to get out there before we boot you on out?
Not really. If anybody ever wants to collab or anything, or just hit me up. Any questions? I'm always up for chatting. So, do some swaps, paint some blanks. That always sounds good. So, I'm always up for whatever. So, I'm always painting stuff. So it never puts me out.
Nice.
Well, there you have it. Well, it's been a pleasure, my man. You have a good rest of the evening, and we will talk to you soon. Best of luck at the convention.
All right. Thanks.
Yes.
Peace, dude.
Peace. DECAY Toys, man. God, the scale of that thing just totally blew my mind, dude.
I don't know about you. If it had been one of the homies that had been on longer, I was so tempted to just stare at them for longer and longer there. See how long we could just awkwardly stare at them and be like, anything else you want to get out there? And then just almost act like we were both frozen, just staring there, just waiting, just leaving them on the spot.
Oh, man. Like, oh, their screen froze. But, dude, he's got a lot going on. Holy smokes, man. Yes, I think almost everything that we saw, dude, when you look at it, yeah, just like that. When the almost everything that he brought up, man, the scale was looked larger than what it was online. But dude,
I never have that issue, and it drives me every time. These guys show a picture, then they show it. It's fucking huge. I send a picture, people are like, I show up. Oh. Every time.
Every time.
It's
Every
like the
time.
one, every fucking time, dude. Maybe I could be made out of vinyl.
Every time. 40 individual, so he could potentially do 40 one-offs of those.
Well, okay, so
That blank color sounded interesting, dude. That kind of reddish orange that he was talking about. That sounded kind of cool. But I like the paint work, dude. God, the paint is on everything that we saw was super, super cool.
Dude, we've said it before, I don't know how these dudes do it because I take forever, and when I see a run, I'm just like, fuck's sakes, dude.
Oh, goodness, dude.
How do you just like bang that out? That takes a lot. That's a lot of commitment. That's a lot of.
Oh man.
But from the looks of things, if you consider a couple one-offs, you consider this bluey one, this guy, and he's got the watermelon wave. It's like, damn, yeah. How many do you?
Yes, dude. I like
have
that.
left?
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna be bringing these guys with you to the convention.
Yeah.
Like I said, sold 12 so far, ordered 40. You're already down to 28.
Yeah, I could see going through another round of those once they kind of get out there, dude. I think, just like you said, man, I think when more artists get that in their hands and see or start seeing it at shows and see exactly what that is, I mean,
big. I like the fact it reminds me kind of like the Lulubelle stinging ducks, where they don't take a whole lot of room this way because they're this way, but then they also work really well for shelving and layering, and more and more and more. I kind of love the fact that like 2 years ago we started talking to people about Safubi. Oh, I don't know if I'm allowed to give away like where I get it, and it's not all that easy, and there's a lot to know. And nowadays, the amount of dudes are like, so I hit up so and so, they did the sculpt for me, told them I didn't really know the joints, so they kind of helped me out there, and hit up Rabbit, and 4 months later, 4 months is nothing, dude.
4 months is nothing, dude. But I think looking at it from now, and I'm sure a lot of people who are probably a little bit offended by that because they're thinking, man, I've waited way longer for that. Maybe even through that same company, dude. But I think it has a lot to do with what we talked about, how easy that one was for them to do. And they're like, we can run that through and not have to do very much as far as whatever the process is involved. They can get that in and get that out ASAP. But yeah, good for him, dude. You know what I mean? And that's got to be exciting to um, get that from just an idea to actually have a product in your hand. I think we've seen a lot of videos. Everybody has probably seen a lot of videos where people do an unboxing of their first toy that they've made. And dude, I'm sure that's a huge rush right there. So how do you even wrap your mind around going on to a second toy? But it sounds like he's already moving towards it. Um,
When it's all been so smooth, and you get that awesome feeling, it's like, why not? You know,
yeah,
at least get
yeah.
the ball rolling on it. They had mentioned even no function toys when they were in. This dude's under 1,000. Just flinging them up real quick. Like, check that fucking run out, dude.
Ooh, nice, nice. Is that vinyl?
I would imagine that's vinyl, soft vinyl. Yeah, it's the Fubi
Okay.
Toys designer like.
You know what's funny, dude, is the more, and who knows where he's getting his vinyl made from, right? Let's just say it's Rabbit Giant Safubi, and that's another one. Ooh, I like those, man. Now that I think about that, Decay had some of those on his site, that figure.
Oh, the
Um,
two-headed guy. You're right. Yeah.
mhm. Um, but how many people really are? I mean, it sounds like we hear Rabbit Giant all the time. You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? But the number of clients that they actually have is probably way more than what we're even thinking. You know what I mean?
Off the top of my brain, even you got Titty, um, Plagued Earth, fuck's sakes, Decay Toys. You've
Bootleg
got
Toy Co., Resin
Titty,
Blood,
Bootleg, Resin Blood, Scott from
Barbarian Rage.
thank you. Like that's
That's
7
without
artists
even
right
thinking
there.
about it, dude. That's just not even, that's without even thinking
Just kind
about
of
it. And
rhyming off a couple.
that's the people who we know. You know what I mean? Think about the other people out there that we have no idea.
Um, so
Mm,
actually, like, this is a debate that I don't know if we'll ever get to the bottom to. At the end of the day, I think people on the outside of it can have their opinions. There's people who are on the inside who maybe have like more know-how. You're kind of on to something. I do know back in the day, one of the things that used to get tossed around were a lot was like you have to pay your dues. It was almost kind of like you were expected to have already tried sculpting some stuff, done some resin, purchased some vinyl to get in hand some vinyl, and then you were almost also expected to be like on Skullbrain, participating in all these conversations. It's like a forum site about what makes this a shitty vinyl and what makes that a good vinyl and what you never do in vinyl and the things that you do in vinyl. But at the end of the day, in my opinion, what I've always thought of it as was very much almost a hoarding of access, basically. So, like gatekeeping, right? Because that same 4 months, if all of a sudden you're used to getting 3 drops a year and you're able to basically get 3 brand new runs of your figure every 4 months, then all of a sudden somebody else comes in and now you can only get 2 runs of figures, and you're trying to actually base out your drops and how many you need to buy at one time in order to make sure that now it's taking longer to get your pulls and all this other shit. And unfortunately, the moment that somebody who makes says, I don't want to share it because then you're going to bump me in line, you sound like an asshole. So it's almost easier to come up with all these, oh, I don't know, I'm really not supposed to share this business that benefits from customers might not want me getting them more customers, right? That's like Tim Hortons saying, "Hey, please don't leave any positive Google reviews. We might get so busy that all of a sudden we can't actually serve people food all day." It's like, but
Um, yeah, and you know what, dude? I think as a whole, dude, I think honestly, and I truly think this, dude, I think this is a temporary problem, because we do know of other factories. I think everybody that we've talked about now is in the States, dude. And once we talked to Wonder Goblin about, him kind of getting his thing, now he's not advertising that he's doing other people's vinyl right now. He's really trying to get his own thing going. But if you think about the possibilities there, and what that can alleviate. Now, if you have somebody locally doing them, that I think a lot of U.S. artists would probably use, dude, how that would open up Rabbit Giant a little bit more. Um, but I mean, the thing that I think is also a factor, dude, is kind of what we already talked about. Is they are a business too, man, and they are trying to take as many customers as they can. And they probably put easier, less involved pieces. I shouldn't say easier, but less involved pieces through faster because it's something that they can do without having to put a lot of effort into it, dude. I know that Gong Kong Studios, people were on that dude about, oh, well, how did you get your piece through Rabbit Giant so fast? Well, do you think he knows anybody from Rabbit Giant? Probably not. Does he know somebody who knows somebody? Maybe. But also, if you look at his Scorn figure, that's another one, dude. There's not a lot to it. You know what I mean? It's very in shape. It's very clean. You know what I mean? Like there's not a whole lot to it. I could see them not knowing that process. I could see them putting that one through too and just saying, well, just here, we can blow this one out. It does suck, dude. I think, if I was an artist, I would be thinking of, wow, I'm glad that there's a lot of quality product being put out there, and I'm glad that they are getting more customers because now this company is successful, which will probably breed other companies that are going to be successful. But and also, it's a good problem to have, dude. There's more people out there making it. That means there's a bigger interest in this. But then there's always, well, now there's more people to choose from. Yeah, you're right. That's business, man. That's the way it is.
and like Ashley, you bring up, you're on the fence about being excited that it's so accessible, and yet is that also sort of like it getting boring? I would say that's where I'm sure some people have worried about it, but then you see the split offs. Like there'll always be people who like Kid Robot and some of those like Pop Mart box and stuff like that. Those can be Safubi, right? Unbox Industry, Instinct Toy, and those are vinyl, but their reach is almost that point that I think a lot of us get to where we're kind of like, well, it's at a store in a little box. There's a whole bunch of them. It's an assortment. It feels a little bit too surprise box Walmarty now. I'm kind of good, right? So you kind of lose some of that audience sometimes. No different than I don't think B is going online after this and looking up any costs or Supreme collabs or Bear Brick. Like to each their own, but it doesn't typically fall into the same. And then personally, like I know I usually will like kind of ask, well, did it need to be? There's so many things that you look at and you're kind of like, did it have to be Safubi? Was that really like the optimal choice, right? When we see people doing like the helmets on figures, and you're like, well, fuck yeah, that makes the most sense, man. Like your options were either going kind of like a titty bout bean route or a Pope Toys route, where you double cast a head and you put a magnet on there, and now you can head swap it, or do you just make it in vinyl and make it so that the clear vinyl part can act as actually like a helmet on there? Or sometimes we'll hear artists talk about the size, right? Like talking about Lulu Bell earlier, their Peachman figure, their Stinging Duck figure. It would be so much resin. It'd be so heavy. It would be kind of stupid. You'd have to price to a certain point. Uh,
Mr. Von Fake Name, what's up, dude? Yeah, man, it's I think the good news for Rabbit Giant is that they put out a really good product, dude. You know what I mean? Like everything that I've seen from them
there you go.
is really good product, man. So props to people that are using them. It's just another option. I know that there's a bunch of factories out there, but those guys hit something good, dude. And like I said, props to them, dude. I think probably the last,
Right.
out of the last dozen or so vinyl artists that we've talked to, but the majority of them are getting stuff pulled from there. And You know, what I haven't heard is somebody saying they take too fucking long. I'm not using them. I haven't heard that. And I think that's one of the things going in with vinyl, kind of what Decay was talking about, dude. You kind of got to know what you're in for. You asked him if he was surprised with the shipping costs, and he was just like, not really, because I knew that it was going to be outrageous when he was going into it. And I think, I think that's a good frame of mind to go in to a lot of these events and stuff, drops, shows that we go into, where you don't have this really high expectation that you're just going to kill it, man. If it does, hey, man, what a nice surprise. But there's got to be, I think, going into it with like, hey, I think best case scenario for me is breaking even today, and a lot of people don't even get there, man. You gotta find a thing. Jazz Wizard says Jimmy nailed it on the record comment.
Right.
Very nice.
And then bragging about having a clear casted titty bean helmet. Well, we can't all have those.
Yeah, right.
I just think the utility. Sometimes the utility of vinyl makes sense to me as to why it goes that route. I honestly don't care where the vinyl comes from either. I will never be one of those weirdos who's like, it has to be Safubi vinyl. I've gotten some Mexican vinyl in that I fucking love. I think it's janky as all shit usually. It's just fun. Toys are fun. That's what it actually comes right down to. As long as there's creative people out there with good ideas making some freaking cool stuff, like, it'll always be fun.
Yeah. Agree, man. Agree. There's so many different reasons to like it, dude. And that's just, what we were kind of talking about before was, a lot of the times at shows and stuff like that, the end buyer doesn't know what that artist has gone through to make that piece or anything about the factory. Maybe they're partial to a certain factory for some reason, but,
it gets lost pretty quick. Like, same as, what's his name there? Science Patrol. I didn't know he pulled his own. Did you?
I did not know that. I still want a Cranston, by the way, man. God dang it. The elusive Cranston. And I think they're so easy to get too, dude, right? Because I just don't have one. But man, if anybody's got a link on a Cranston, dude, I will pay for one. I just want one.
And actually, you're definitely not wrong about like keeping the artistry as part of the conversation. And it's strange because I've definitely encountered bully-like personalities in the toy scene before that will crap on all these ideas while making something over here and being a complete hypocrite on things. And you're kind of just like, okay,
Yeah.
There's certain people in the Safubi world that would say there's not really room for a couch, but I like it.
Yeah, and they're out there, and those are cool too, man. Folklore says he likes metal action figures. He has a small collection of those. Hurt Toys also has a small collection of metal action figures, and I agree, man. Those are very cool. I like those.
There you go. You got some sick ass chairs over there. We're just sitting here humming and fucking. What you got on that table of toys over there?
Okay. Well, yeah, we'll go through these real quick, man. I showed 3 pieces from Decay Toys earlier. That was this guy here from Weeping Warlock. This was a Decay Toys piece paint right there. Super, super sick.
Weeping Warlock sounds like some kind of like medieval times disease. Ah, you got a case of the Weeping Warlock.
The Weeping Warlock, yeah. It reminds me of the Low Cunning account. You know what I mean? Like those should be together somewhere. Well, but this is a Moon King from Plagued Earth that's painted by Decay.
Okay, now what is the difference between the Moon King and isn't there one that also has a bit of a tail body?
There's a Moon Dawn, which is larger. That's the one that he was talking about. Yeah, the Moon Dawn is like that big, dude. It's like it's got like the astronaut helmet on it. Yeah, exactly. But that's a cool one. This one, I totally spaced on the artist and piece on this one, but this is a one that's painted by Decay Toys, which is another super cool one.
That's a gorgeous. And if I'm not, that looks like one of the Grody bodies.
I don't think it is, but it could be. Right. I don't think it is. He told me who I think I started following the artist right after he told me who that was. But
Blue Coppa over here is like the wizard on. They're kicking folklore out when it comes to vinyl knowledge.
yeah, dude, Weeping Warlock. I think we talked about. I had a new Weeping Warlock piece last week or the week before, and like I was saying, dude, those things got snatched up so freaking quick. Yeah, that giant big guy's dope, dude. But yeah, they got snatched up super quick. Everything. He had a couple different figures and a couple different colors of each, and they were gone. But Weeping Warlock is very, very cool, man. Next one, dude. How about this one? Stargazer from Yuckamuck. Hadn't had anything from Yuckamuck for a while, man. And compared to the rest of the stuff that I do have, I have some carded pieces, and then the rest of the stuff that I have a lot of pieces from them, but they're just much smaller in scale. I would say 3.75 to maybe 4 inch was the biggest before this, but you can see what this is.
That's a
Yeah,
brilliant
dude.
piece.
Solid resin, casted, painted, the Stargazer eyes.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah, dude, those eyes, man. I think I specifically bought this because I saw those eyes and I was like, dude, that's so freaking cool, man.
Mm-hmm.
Looking out
That's
like that, getting a
gorgeous.
little reflection there. So anyways, yeah, Yuckamuck, dude, really good paint on that too, man. Check that out. Very nice.
Oh, no way. That bug was a Yuck Trading Co. piece. I haven't been over to that page in a while. Damn.
Oh, nice. Okay. Super duper dope. Yeah, I agree, man. That's a good one. Very cool. Yuckamuck on that. Bam. I think the comments were kind of going back and forth. I think that this was a run of like 3 or 4. And I think Super Terrible Toys had asked, and I think there was one left at the time. But yeah, ET, man. I was saying when I opened this, I just randomly, dude, have collected. There's a nice little ET collection that I got going on now. There's this guy. There's one from ETC Toys, which is probably the first one that I have. There's one from Hurt Toys. There's the ones from Has Been Toys. I think you probably have some of those as well. But Yuckabuck on that one. Next one, dude, check this out, man. This was like we might have talked about this at one point of just like killer collabs that you could have, dude. And Pendragon and Healy Made was definitely in that conversation. But this is a Pendragon Healy Made Hellbent collab. This one is total Mexican bootleg style. This was pulled down in Mexico. But really has that kind of shiny black plasticky Mexican bootleg look to it, which is great. The artwork, I apologize, I don't know who the artwork is on that, but that's a separate artist as well. Really, really cool, man. Bam.
Now, that's one of those weird ones where, like, if you were Healy, would you be kind of like excited about this collab, or would you just kind of like, yeah, sure, use my figure? Like, I wonder how like the dynamics go when you're both pretty big people and have a pretty good following.
Well, I think, as far as like for me as a collector, man, like if I was trying to think of styles that work really well together, no, it is a clamshell, so it opens up. We can open it up and take a look.
I was gonna say, Folklore says open it.
Open it!
And then, of course, one big lick from toe to head. Big ol' sniff.
So if you look at it, dude, it is different than the Super 7 Hellbent.
Yeah.
So there's definitely some Pendragon work in there.
Full static, right?
Static, yeah, exactly. Static. I like how the weapon is in the hand now.
Mm-hmm.
But this whole arm, I believe, is different. If you have
more like lizard mummy kind of thing going on there.
Yeah, man. And if I look at the Hellbent figures, like the ones from Super 7, it is a different character, man. Like you can tell it's basically exactly what it is, dude. It's a Mexican bootleg version of the Hellbent figure. Which is great, dude. I like it.
Fucking Mortal Kombat body and head.
Yeah. Nice looking figure though, dude. But like I was saying, man, if you were gonna, styles that go together, that would be a good one, man. I think they both have that really kind of dark vibe to it, um, to their styles. I mean, if you were trying to put styles together that are similar, I think that would be a no brainer.
Who did the backer art on that one?
It's in my post, dude, and I can't remember. I don't think it says. It does not say on here, but there was. It is somebody else. I just started following them, but if you go to the original post from Healy Made, it's on there. But that's a cool one, man. There's
Billy
if
Norby.
Billy Norby. There you go. Bam. Nice one. But yeah, it's a really good Mexican version of that Hellbent figure. So nice, nice.
So nice.
So nice. This last one right here, man. This is from. I got this one. Fletcher, aka Felcher, helped hook this one up. This is from Skinner, man. This is a vinyl piece here. This one I think is going to stay in the bag just because I love that header card. So nice, dude. He actually has a print on his website of this card, and it's called Heal Reveal, which I think is really cool, man. This zombie, there is a couple more on his website. I think I know that there's a white one. I don't know if there's any green left, but it's called like Zombie Reveal. Kind of taking off his mask there, but it's a large piece too, man. This is,
I know you love a large piece.
Hey, this one is actually, this one was a collab. This was Skinner and Waxface Toys. So I don't have anything from Waxface that I know of besides this piece. If you're not following them, check them out. They have some cool stuff. Waxface Toys and Skinner on this one. But super cool, man. Love that bright green. It does feel like it is it's vinyl, but it's not very soft. But it just feels, it's definitely got some weight to it. But man, that header card is just Skinner's art, dude, is something else. If everybody's familiar with that, but sick, man.
I like the pop style. I like that they've cut cut that out and then have it popped up on the top. I like that.
Yeah, cool. Nice, man. Skinner and Waxface Toys on that one, and that is all the opens for this week, man. What you got on the old tabby doos, dude? Well, I know you got something in there.
We got a couple. Nothing too crazy. I was actually seeing over on these guys. First wave of these guys, the Squish available, fucking first wave ran right out. I was shocked on that. Not that it didn't seem like a good toy, but it's not often that we see something just fucking fly out like that. But the more you look at it, I like this guy, man. And then recently he's got a new pickle goblin. Actually, it's a cheese goblin. And I think the cheese goblin might even actually be more fun than the pickle goblin.
Oh, nice. Yes, the cheese goblin now. That's funny.
We all know somebody who gets up in the middle of the night and just fucking decides to eat cheese by the brick, right? We've all met someone like that. You might even be that person at home.
Hey!
Also, I thought this was nice. Wanted to give you guys a little shout. Zimmet Co. is going to be doing an electroplated copperwork sale to cover some vet bills for the sale, and sometime Thursday, when they remember to turn it off. So 25% off at the moment on all of their copper works, which...
Nice. Holy... Dude, I saw that picture, and I was like, that's probably not even all of it, dude. You know what I mean? Damn. Damn.
They've got a lot right now. And this isn't even counting the fact that they've got stuff for the drop tomorrow, too. Or Friday, sorry, the Friday drop. So yeah, if you were looking to get yourself some really nice, unique... And again,
those are great too, man.
If you guys missed it, I feel like anybody in the chat at this point probably saw this episode, but these aren't patina just in paint. Like, it's not meant to look rustic. These are actually copper plated using like the electroplating, and then they've used different oxidization materials. I don't really know what to even call them. They're like inks that basically purposely have different amounts of acetones in them that basically
Yeah.
age it. So fucking brilliant, man.
Dude, they look great as a set, man. There's a couple other pieces that I have displayed with those style pieces that look super, super good as a group. There goes his ET piece over there. But
and then of course Friday's drop.
Yeah.
Hey, there you go.
That's a nice
What's
one.
up?
Yeah.
I don't know how they make as much as they do. They obviously have quite the talent for like their paint work, man.
Dude, I think if you go into that shop and there's something that you can't find, holy smokes, you might be blind because there is so much to choose from. But yeah, that's a great time to be hit them up, man. Really good cause for that too. I think you said it, but I read that and I know that he was dealing with some unexpected vet bills too. So
yeah, raising up some funds for some vet bills, which
nice.
Almost just makes it even more. I mean, if you weren't already sitting here going, "Fuck yeah, I should."
Yeah, go buy something. Exactly. Just go buy something. You'll get a great deal. I promise. You'll love it.
Check these freaking fun little guys out.
Yeah, what is that?
Available at Summer Slime Fun Corner.
Summer Slime, dude. I want to go to Summer Slime someday so bad. The amount of stuff that they had out there is just mind-boggling, dude. Like I was looking at Paul Kaiju's post that he was bringing out there, the stuff. It's just unreal, man.
Oh, apparently go see Vile Store if you for leftovers.
Oh, nice. Fun Corner. That stuff sells quick, dude. Online.
There you go. That damn Joe just added some more headshot figures to the shop, a couple solids, and a few mixed parts if you missed out on last week's restock. And if I'm not mistaken, they also went through and just found a bunch of little. What was damn Joe said they had found a bunch of.
Yeah, I remember seeing that post too.
You know what I'm talking about, right? They had found a bunch of little minis. It's not this pin one, right?
No, there was some other ones, but yeah, there was a few things that they had found that they threw in the
into the
shop
as
there.
well.
Yeah.
But whenever they do action figures, it always kind of catches me off guard because that damn Joe isn't really known for action figures.
Dude, when they first came out with their first 3.75, it was, you're right, dude, it was like a total shock to me. I didn't know that they were doing that kind of work. But up until that point, I mean, and I think still they're very much known for Bone Ghost. That comes in a bunch of different versions too, but their Keshi line that they have, the smaller stuff, that's been going on for a while too.
Yeah.
But that 3.75, yeah, really caught me off guard, dude. I have the first few figures that they did, and it just keeps on going.
Right. I mean, at some point, I guess you just want to explore into more realms and play around with some stuff. You're just making. You're just making. Hello Pike had a couple pieces going up 3 days ago. Got some Asgals one-offs available, realistic Bruin style. So I'm not gonna read off each and every one of these, but it looks like only a couple of them is sold so far. So if you have been itching to get your hands on some, now is the time.
Nice.
Do you have any of these guys? Yeah, right.
I don't have one of those. I do have some work by Hello Pike though.
Do you have something that has this head?
I don't think so.
Nah.
I don't think so.
What a fucking
That's cool though.
Sculpt. Yeah.
Yeah. Real nice. Very nice. Seeing that scale smaller than what I thought, dude. I saw that picture before and I thought, oh, those are pretty good size, but way smaller.
Yeah. But honestly, I feel like that's a fun size, especially if they're gonna make more, like in that line.
Ooh, nice little Micronauts collection over there.
That's what I was thinking too. I was like, fuck sakes.
Yeah.
Henchman.
Jason Lex.
One of the last things for the magazine I've been crippling away at. This dude is working on a magazine. That's why I was like, why did I pull up Jason Lex for a second? That's what it is. They're chipping away on a magazine. I'm excited to see that. I'm assuming that a bunch of it's going to be stuff like this.
Cool. Nice.
Now, Jason Lex makes as well, right? The cast?
Yeah, I have a few pieces from him.
Yeah,
he's that assembly.
The wolf head and the little sweater is him, right?
Correct. It's a tiger. Yes.
Tiger.
Yeah, those are cool, dude. I think those are some of my favorite pieces, man. I don't know what it is about those, but it's just like the whole demeanor of that piece is is super cool.
I was legit looking at it the other day, thinking to myself, why weren't you an Arthur? This is such a fucking Arthur-esque
Yeah,
figure.
exactly, right? And you know what the best thing is about those, dude? They were $5,
Oh,
and they were
jeez.
just like little random things that he had at his table at Assembly Required. There's probably a post in there somewhere about them, but
It's just oh, and these dudes.
yeah, yep,
They're another one that I bet you with a black wash, little silver paint, suddenly those parts that you're maybe missing would just pop.
yeah.
Fucking toys, man. Steady crafting. New colors coming this Thursday, August 6th at 6 p.m. CST.
There you
Now
go.
it's been a while since he dropped this guy, right? This was like from like the first release.
Yes, those are small, dude. I have one of those, but
Yeah.
it's all gray. And it was like the first run that he did. Very cool, man. They have like the face is like a little
Flips.
disc, and they have like ones that you can pop in and pop out,
Right.
with different expressions and stuff, which is cool.
Yeah, I was kind of shocked to see those come back.
Yeah, with all the vinyl work that he's been doing, man, he's been putting in some work on the vinyl for sure.
But it might be a nice little change. Like, dude, like I don't know if you ever really intended to become a toy manufacturer. It was just kind of the result of exploration.
Right, dude, and like you said, man, I like that he's going back to some of the resin stuff too. I think Decay Toys, we kind of brought that up a little bit too with them doing vinyl and then going back to the resin stuff. And I think for the most part, dude, like a lot of people that we think of still kind of dabble in both, man.
Yeah.
It's I don't know if I see too many people that are doing like resin and then they completely drop it 100% and never go back to it. Just from what I've seen, dude, I know there's people out there that definitely work that way, but for the most part, I think that people still go back and dabble every now and then. I mean, Barbarian Rage, Resin Blood, those guys are both kind of going doing both. Scott's kind of getting away from it a little bit, but he has a great portfolio of resin stuff that if he ever wanted to do again, I think it would definitely sell.
Yeah.
Um, you know,
But
but
I think for a lot of these guys, if they're gonna do resin, it's as an in between while they're waiting for their next vinyl run.
great point, dude. I think when we first really started talking about that, dude, we had a really good conversation with Zymot, and I know that we had talked about it
Mm.
before, but what he was talking about just because he had come out with the Beautiful Insect at the time, which was the vinyl
Mm.
piece, and we were talking about like what were the positives and negatives of that. And I think what he said was his main thing was the time. You know what I mean? Like he makes so much resin because he's like on the go all the time, and that's just how he works. And then when you hit the vinyl, and we were asking him like, "Well, do you think you're going to do more vinyl?" And he said no because it takes too damn long.
By the time he got in his piece, he was bored with it. He had moved on. It was no longer even in like the realm of
Yeah,
where he was working. And
right.
then it's kind of like, well, most of the time what you're paying for is the mold. So you've just paid all
Yeah,
this money for the mold, and then you get the piece, and you're kind of like, oh yeah, this. Yeah,
yeah.
okay, well I'll make them because I've got them.
Right, right, right. And I think it's, that kind of goes back to what we were talking about, like how much time do you really have to dedicate to the stuff? Maybe the vinyl process works better for your schedule. Maybe the resin works better for your schedule if you're just going, balls to the wall like that. But I like it, dude, when they go just from a collector standpoint, just when they kind of do both, and there's kind of a wide variety of mediums that they do. But the time frame, dude, it's definitely a different game, right? And I think that's, one of the things with resin is that there's that instant satisfaction of design a piece, kit bash a piece, mold, cast, paint, done. You know what I mean?
When I used to ask a lot of makers what their favorite part is, they would say it was when you peel open that mold. And you get to now see the
Sure.
results of your efforts and be like, oh, look at how these colors worked, and see if it actually came out sick or not.
Yeah. Speaking of sick, what are we looking at here, bro? This is sick.
Warlord Toys, a Road Rage. So Warlord Toys is actually sitting at 132 custom action figures in Tampa.
132 followers. Wow, that's a fine, dude. Look at that. Ooh, that's nice,
Tusk,
dude.
the intergalactic asshole.
What man, That's cool, dude. What are we looking at there? I wonder.
I think I mean, it's either a kit bash and primed or a 3D sculpt and
Yeah.
primed. Because it does look like this individual is sculpting in like ZBrush or. But I mean, if they're sculpting that and the result coming out is this, like that's pretty fucking good.
Yeah, that's real good. I like that.
I don't know why I love those stupid boots and helmets so much.
6 arms on that, dude. I like the way that they got the 6 arms in there without it looking too like clusterfucky. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. No,
Like
I'd have to
everything.
agree with you.
Nice. That's good, dude. I like that. Yeah, that's good with the 2 arms coming over the back like that.
And then the joined.
Yeah, nice.
Well done. And then Plagued Earth, man. This guy just has fucking a never-ending supply of pieces lately. So 72 hours, Plastic Jesus, and Plagued Earth production, limited run of Jen Terry's finally drop.
Nice.
I like that.
Yeah, dude, he did a couple different colorways of those, and we were talking about like clear pieces that people were putting stuff in. Decay Toys had done that a little bit on his, but Drew's really good at that as well, man.
Yeah.
And getting some different looks with that.
Yeah, I didn't realize that they had collaborated with Plastic Jesus on this one.
Yeah, and I haven't talked to them to see exactly what the collab was as far as the colors go and stuff. But yeah, that looks like a good one, man. I think that's a really small run of that too. So if you're wanting to get one of those, I don't know. Gosh, dude, I'm starting to think that might have dropped today.
Let me double check now. I thought that was posted today and saying.
Oh, it might have been. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, 4 hours ago. So 68 hours to go.
Oh shit. Okay, so probably this weekend is what we're looking at then. One other account that I wanted to mention, just because he hit me up before the show, was Brulio Toys. Has one more summer release, and then that's it for the summertime. So they're gonna move into the school session, as it were. And I think that, gosh, dude, how many people have we talked to that are teachers, man, that are probably dreading going back. Yeah, check those out. There's those. Then there's another one that he showed. It might have been in a story, or I thought it was there you go. That's the last one right there. Check that guy out, dude. Yowza. That's fresh, man. I like that.
Yeah, that's sick as hell.
But anyways, people getting ready to go back to school, man. Summertime is over.
There it is. Well,
there it is.
Tabs are over. What do we got for these Yahoos next week?
Next week, man, don't know. No, it's gonna be a surprise. It may just be me and you just kind of hanging out, talking shit. We're good at that.
And we try our best.
We do. Thanks to Decay Toys for coming on tonight, man. Lots of stuff going on there. Check out his shop. There's a lot of stuff in there. Good luck at the show this weekend, and keep an eye out for more vinyl from Decay Toys, either his own pieces or painted, man. He's got some really cool painted stuff. Some little gems in that shop too, man. There's some stuff that's hard to come by.
Do it up. All right, guys. Have a good night, folks.
Peace out.